Well, it's been a year. Hello, welcome to Those License everyone. It is time for the BookTube anniversary tag. I was actually tagged by T and Kate from An Erudite Adventure back in March, I think. Was it really that long ago? I don't know, maybe it's been sooner than that. So I'm just gonna go over the questions real quick. This is answering the first question right off the bat. Is my 1 year anniversary. I actually posted my first video on July 21st, 2021. I made my account on July 20th, so this is coming out on the 20th because that fits my schedule. But let's get down to the questions. Gotta grab them right here. Hey, question 2. How have you changed from your first video to now? Well, it's actually funny because from my first video, I didn't know if I'd ever show my face, but I kind of got rid of that really quickly because my third video, you see my face. So I kind of got into like what I wanted to do pretty early on. My style hasn't changed very much. I've gotten more comfortable in front of the camera, less awkward. Well, I guess that actually comes up on another question, so I'll answer it there. Number 3, what are 3 of your favorite videos you've made in the past year and why? And what video are you most proud of and why? That's a pretty similar question. Is that, I mean, I don't get it. Okay, anyways. 3, I really like my little essay on what is sword and sorcery. I like it more now, especially since I've been reading conversations on the Whetstone Tavern Sword and Sorcery Discord server, and just that I still see people saying, oh, this is sword and sorcery, and you go and read it and it's not sword and sorcery. A lot of times sword and sorcery is just used to describe any type of fantasy, and that's just not what sword and sorcery is as a label. And so I'm glad that's one of my most popular videos. So it does give you a better idea of what people mean when they say sword and sorcery, besides the people who just say, oh, well, it's just fantasy basically, and it sounds cooler for whatever reason. So because it is actually a subgenre, there are certain elements that kind of make it sword and sorcery. And there are elements that make it not sword and sorcery. So so that's one of my favorite videos. I don't really know besides that. I do like being able to talk to some authors. I started doing that this year. So that's been fun. I don't know. I review a lot of books. I don't get a ton of attention on BookTube. That reflects in my subscriber number, and that's fine. Well, some of that's related to do with my quality as well, but yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite, any that I'm most proud of. I'm glad, especially of the ones where it's the only video on YouTube, or one of the only videos on YouTube. Like I did a video on why you should read the Spiral Wars. I think it's only one of 2 videos on YouTube that talks about Spiral Wars, or anything by Joel Shepherd at all. Like I'm the only one that has done a review for In the Palace, Shadow and Joy, maybe Abbott in Darkness still, just tons of books, honestly. I almost have 100 reviews out at this point, and a lot of them are the only ones still on YouTube. Or like a more popular one that's the only one is like Elements for Making the Mage. That one's actually one of my most viewed videos, and it's one of 2 on YouTube. The other one's made by a young girl, and hers is way better than mine. But so. And then 4, what's your most popular video? It's actually my review for The Shadow of the Torturer by Gene Wolfe, which is fine by me. That was my favorite book in 2021 with the sequel, Kalala Conciliator. And so far in 2022, it'll be the sequels of those that are my favorites. So, and I don't think they're going to be upstaged. So, yeah, my most viewed is Shadow of Torturer. It's got a little over 1,000 views last I checked. I think it was sitting about 1,020 or so. I haven't checked recently. Yeah, that I know some people have way bigger videos, but that's cool. What have you struggled with on BookTube in the past year, and how did you overcome that struggle? What's the hardest thing about creating videos for YouTube? I think, I mean, to put it out there bluntly, the biggest struggle I had with actually making videos is once I really got I was into it in that first week. It was kind of figuring out the schedule with how to do it with my kids. For a while there, I would record on Sunday when my kids and the rest of my family were at my in-laws' house. I mean, I'd go there too. I just leave and come record and go back. For the last half year or so, I've been recording at night after my girls go to bed. So, and I had been doing a little bit of that for my reviews as well, but it was generally too dark to record things in front of the camera at my last apartment. So just that, I think for the most part. The thing that really stops me from making videos is depression. When that hits, sorry, that's not really a laughing matter, but just to be completely honest, that's the only thing that's really stopped me from actually making videos. It's happened a couple times in the past year, but it's not been, terrible. It doesn't keep me down and out completely, rather. So, yeah, that. And then 6, what have you had to deal with negative feedback or comments? How do you handle it? I've not gotten one negative comment, unless there's one that YouTube deleted and I never saw. I haven't gotten really a lot of feedback. I mean, well, actually, I have people telling me they like my style. I haven't had a lot of people telling me they don't like my style. My most common feedback is that I make the music too loud or my voice isn't clear enough. Generally, in my reviews, it's happened a couple times. That's me not being careful enough. I know that could be a problem if I'm not paying attention. And those reviews take very little effort, just by the way I do them. So if I don't pay attention, sometimes I don't even listen to the review after I've recorded it because I just don't have the time. The audio will sometimes not be as good. But the weirdest comment I've gotten was actually on my antique book review, antique book collection, which is also one of my more popular videos, was someone saying how they don't get old books because they have germs on them. That's about it. That's the weirdest comment I've gotten, and that's just kind of silly. So, whatever, right? Shout out a huge supporter of your channel. Oh man, there's too many. Let's see. Karth, who stuck with me from when I used to stream video games on Twitch. Then we have CD, of course, who watches a lot of stuff. We have Raf, who watches a lot of stuff. We have T, who watches a lot of stuff. And like Andrews Wizardly Reads, and Nico, who supported me a lot, especially at the beginning. Owen, again, as well. David Wiley does a lot. Rinfill as well. All these people support my videos. Michael K. Vaughn even will watch some of my videos, and just so that's nice. Everyone that's supported me I really appreciate it, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. There's other people I'm surely blanking on at the moment, so I'm sorry, but thanks to everyone basically who's commented, subscribed, and stuck around for that matter. Hey, what's the best book you've read in the past year? The Earth of the New Sun. I do have a review for that, though it is a sequel, sort of coda, technically called a coda generally, to Book of the New Sun, which is 4 other books. But Earth of the New Sun, easily. I've read a lot of great literature, but Earth of the New Sun, by far. I don't think it's going to get passed up anytime soon. So, let's see. 9, where do you see your channel in a year's time, and what do you hope to have achieved? I would like to have more videos for y'all. I'd like to have more talks with authors, more reviews on books you might not have heard about. I'd like to be a bigger voice in some ways for Sword and Sorcery, the new edge Sword and Sorcery movement is kind of starting. It's kind of gaining some steam. When I write, I actually write a lot of Sword and Sorcery. I'd like to be actually published. I have something that's a short story that's going to get published here soon on a website, and that's really basic. It's 1 cent a word. 1 cent a word. I know that's basically nothing, but I mean, even in a year, I'd like to have more than that, and that's not published yet, but soon, any day, basically. And so just more good content, giving you my honest opinions. Hopefully I'm worth more than an opinion, though. No offense to anyone out there. If this is you, then it's you, but I'm not picking on anyone in particular. But a lot of reviews out there are essentially useless, in my opinion. They don't give me anything. They're just if they're just an opinion and they can't tell me whether I'm going to like the book or not, it's only helpful when I realize I already have similar tastes to this person, and I have to know them pretty well. So I've already had to watch a lot of their content. So a lot of reviews just don't give me a lot of information. I realize that's hard. I realize I don't do a very good job of that either sometimes. So I like to improve on that. The problem is I basically review every book I read, and I don't have a lot to say about some books, and I don't deeply analyze most of them because first and foremost, I want to enjoy the books, and secondly, I want to be say something useful about them. I mean, I always want to say something useful about them on YouTube, but as a reader, I just want to enjoy them for the most part. I don't want to go too deep into analysis because then I feel like I might lose some of that enjoyment. It kind of depends on the book as well, but you know, anyways, hopefully I have more good content for you. I would also like to have 500 subscribers at some point, mostly because I do stuff elsewhere, and it would just be nice to have community posts. That's it. That's like the only thing I want, honestly, here on YouTube. I feel like I can get there in a year, but that, like, it's not for any other purpose, like for some big old milestone. I'm not very bad at looking at analytics, if you want to put it that way. I don't get too stressed about the analytics. What was an unexpected surprise of being on YouTube? How do I say this? Kind of helping authors, actually, in a sense. Because, like I mentioned earlier, I have some videos out there that are one of a few about certain books. You know, I've been able to, like, talk with some authors, you know, and it's been nice, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it. A lot of these authors are just nice, so you can just reach out and they'll talk to you. If I have a platform, then maybe they're a little bit more willing, I don't know. But it's not a very popular platform, so I mean, another big surprise actually is that this radio contacted me and asked to put my reviews on their radio. I've never caught them. I've never been able to catch when my stuff is supposed to go on the radio and throughout the week as well, because I do it randomly. So supposedly my reviews are on a certain fantasy and science fiction radio, which is cool. That was a surprise. I wasn't expecting that one at all. It made me feel good. So, and then thoughts on equipment. What has been the most useful piece of equipment you've bought? I haven't bought anything besides the tripod that my phone is sitting on right now, which was really useful because before I did a couple videos where I'm sitting on the floor. There's a couple of my first videos. And then I was like, you know, this is really silly. Let me sit in this chair I'm sitting in now, actually, and sit by my desk. And I did that, but I had to like stack it on a bunch of books, I think, for the first couple of those before I got my tripod. So, which has been super useful. That's the only equipment I bought. I could definitely use a microphone, I think, but I already had an editing system. I already have my phone, of course, which I record everything on. So, well, with the exception of like interviews and stuff, which I record on my computer. And even then, I already had my microphone and my earphones and my computer. So, yeah, I haven't bought anything besides tripod, which I found super useful. And then, what advice would you give to someone thinking about starting YouTube? I think an Erudite Adventure did a really good job with this too. But find your niche. I hear it both ways, and I can never decide which way I want to say it. Just find that though. Find what you like, and what you want to talk about. And just go for it. I mean, I could leave like this critique here that, you know, what's interesting, because a lot of times it depends on what you want, right? Like if you want to be more popular, you'll probably read the more popular books. And I'm not saying everyone that does is more popular, but when I say find your niche is kind of why I wanted to start a channel in the first place, because I had the thought of starting a channel for years, like honestly, like not like 8 years or something, like ridiculously long, like almost the entire time I've been watching BookTube. And I got to a point where I was reading a lot more stuff that was, I don't want to say different so much because I'm not edgy like that, but different than what you mostly see on BookTube, even this small section of BookTube that focuses on speculative fiction. And I was just like, you know what, I have something slightly different. You know, like I know what Sword and Sorcery is, and almost everyone on Fantasy BookTube doesn't even know what Sword and Sorcery is. So, you know what I mean? Like, I can talk about that, or I read Forgotten Realms, and there are a few people out there, actually, who do make videos about Forgotten Realms stuff, but, you know, there's not a lot of us, right? And even at the time when I started, I don't know if there was very many at all, if any. Because now there's Rogers Reads, and Mike's book reviews talks a little bit about Drist, but Drist is the bottom of the barrel, personally. Anyways, always hating on Drist if you've watched any of my other videos. But just stuff like that, like, you know, like Fritz Leiber doesn't get enough love on here, or Roger Zelazny, or CJ Cherry, or Michael Moorcock even though he's getting a little bit more popular in the past several months because of the re-release of his books. But yeah, anyways, so just find your niche, you know what I mean? Like, and so in that case, that just your niche is, in some cases, if you are just starting out and for some reason you wanted to start a channel, I feel like I'm being overly harsh. I'm trying to be a good guy here. But if you're just starting out and you want to start a channel and you're reading the popular stuff that everyone else is reading, then your niche is just going to be you know, right? It's not, in some cases, it might not be the books you're reading, though you're always going to be reading books in a different order than everyone else, right? Even though maybe you're reading books that already have 100 videos about them on BookTube. You bringing yourself, your style, and right, because you are your style, just like it is in writing, right? Then that's your niche enough, right? If you don't feel like you're unique enough, and if that sounds good enough for you, then make some videos, cool, whatever. And then 13, tag someone whose anniversary is coming up. I actually do know a couple people whose anniversaries are coming up. I don't know a lot, but I know these two because I remember they started shortly after I did. So if you're watching it, I'll just let you know anyways. But I know a lot of people do this tag and it doesn't matter who tagged them, they just do it. I actually got tagged, which is cool. But Dan from Treebeard Book Reviews, or Treebeard Book Reviews, I don't think there's an S after Treebeard. Tell me if I'm wrong, Dan. And then I think his end of August, September maybe sometime, Dan, I don't remember. And then Jonathan from Words in Time, I think his is like mid-August, his 1 year BookTube anniversary as well. So you're both tagged. If you don't want to do this, obviously just ignore that. But anyways, y'all, thanks for this amazing year. I've had over 200 videos now published in 1 year, and a lot more to come. I'm sitting at about 379, 380 subscribers as of filming this. I had 382 a couple days ago. It keeps on fluctuating. It's like really stuck right now where it doesn't move like really at all. It goes to 381, 382, 380, 381, 380, 381, 380, 379, 383. So like that's kind of what's going on right now. But that's great. I'm glad that all 300 and however, almost probably 400 unique subscribers at some point that all unsubbed, right? So whoever joined me for the journey, even if it was just part of it, thank you. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I don't come off as too snobbish. I'm not very smart. I mean, I like to act like I am. Sometimes I called my channel Lyceum for Pete's sake, but in reality, the Lyceum is just for me as I learn and I share a little bit of what I'm learning with you. I don't share all of it because then that would be an educational channel, and I deal enough with that in school and stuff. So, but a little bit of it, right? Enough. So anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Catch you next time.